it open to you guys. There will be a floating microphone coming around, so if you are selected, then we will, as an incentive, the first 5 people will get a signed copy of the soundtrack, signed not by me, but by Ben Barnes. You'd be relieved to know. So there's a lady in the front row who had her hand up immediately. So there you go. Congratulations. First, you get a copy.
Hi everyone. Hi Ben.
Hiya.
Oh. Hi.
Is it on?
Yeah.
There it is.
We all know you are a rock star in the new film. So could you sing a song for us here in the Apple Store? They say you're much better than Robert.
Do you know what? I didn't bring my band. But if I had, I obviously would. But I'm
a little bit, just a little bit.
I'm just not. I'm not fully prepped and rehearsed. I'm sorry, but you do get a signed copy of the soundtrack on which I sing 10 songs, and that's yours. So there, that's
Thank you much.
And it is all you singing.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah, I spent about 3 weeks in a studio with a guy called Joe Echo who wrote all the songs. And we used a few of Neil and Ivan's actual lyrics, but only a few.
Are they
with good reason, really.
Yeah,
I mean, that is something to know that Ben actually did sing.
Yeah.
It's very rare in a movie, most of the time in a film, and whenever you see a music movie, the actor playing whoever's singing is never singing those songs. They are miming to somebody else who's recorded them. And I would say that's true in about 80% of music films. In this film, Ben went into a studio, recorded those songs, arranged those songs with the composer, and nailed it. And that shows, because when he's then delivering them on stage, he's delivering them to his own performance, which is pretty rare.
It's great because Joe let me sort of taught me how to sing in the difference, because I'd sung on another soundtrack, a film I did called Easy Virtue, but it was very jazz. It was sort of Noel Coward, a room with a view, and it was all very silly.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
You had your moment.
And this was like screaming and punk and stupid, big, screeching, accompanied by some wild, inappropriate dancing. And Joe kind of taught me, and we looked at lots of old videos of Jagger and Bowie and David Hyde's dancing and looked at all that and listened to a lot of their, and tried to channel a different sort of, slightly over-the-top frontman for each of the performances.
Sure.
But it was really fun. I had 3 of the best weeks of my life recording that soundtrack. I had so much fun doing it.
Did it give you a taste? Well, can we expect the Ben
I
Barnes
loved
5?
it. I loved it. No, because I'm not cool enough to be a rock star. But I would do it as Neil, like if I got the wig and the leather trousers and the makeup and could, just ruin someone else's career by doing it, I'll do it that way.
Fair enough. And this lady here in the front row also?
Ben, most of your films came from books, as you mentioned before. Do you worry about departing so much from the original story, or is it sort of a necessary evil that you both concoct to get the right result?
I think Nick he rang up Neil when you were first sort of thinking about doing the story, didn't you, and said, problem with your life is it's got no third act. But don't worry, we're going to give you one. And so we kind of had to structure. I think people are used to seeing structurally, we watch so many films, I think, that you were used to seeing a certain type of structure to films, and this is kind of, as I said near the beginning, that the opposite of that a little bit. But you have to try to pretend we're going in that direction in order to be able to subvert it. I don't worry about sending up the truth, because Neil wrote the book. He made himself the loser in the book. He made himself the butt of the joke, and he gets it. And I think he was quite uncomfortable when he saw just how much of a moron I was making him. But I think he's now got over that, and his friends and family have seen it and said to him, that's exactly what you used to do. And I think he's sort of made his peace with it. And Robert and I have made our peace with playing to such idiots for your viewing pleasure that we feel very happy for people to go to cinema and laugh and point at us. We're happy not to laugh with you. So I think they're sort of necessary evils, the things that have been made up, and make it more structurally exciting as a film.
But actually, the truth is, now Ivan, look, Ivan actually did go to that audition for U2, but they told him that he didn't get in the band. But we didn't do that in the movie. We pretended that Neil said to Bono, look, don't tell him he's going to work with me. But now Ivan thinks that's the real Ivan thinks that's the real truth of the movie. He thinks his brother genuinely screwed up his life and stopped him being in the biggest band in the world. So now there's a massive family rift.
And there's also a marriage rift because in the film, my character makes a series of horrendous mistakes, but one of them is cheating on his girlfriend with the head of PR of the record label. And when the real Neil's wife, Gloria, who he does end up with in real life and in the film, watched the film for the first time, she got really pissy with him for having this fictional affair via me. And he said, "Why are you so upset about this?" He just goes, "Well, it's exactly like something you would have done." And so, so the real, no one knows the reality of it anymore. I'm happy for this to be their life because it doesn't affect me.
The wreckage of the McCormicks. Okay, anyone in the back rows? And I'll come to the front. There's a lady right in the middle of the second row. You win a copy of the soundtrack. And you do as well. There you go.
In the film, Ivan says to Neil that he never did know when to stop. How long do you think a person should pursue their dreams, even if they're unrealistic, before they should give up?
It's a really good question. Best question I've been asked all week, and I've been asked about 50,000 questions.
Well, it was either that one or "Can you fix my cat?" But
Who did that? Was that you last night? That was last night.
Tell me it wasn't
Who
you.
was that?
I wasn't, but I was there. So
You were there.
That was
Jesus.
That was weird.
How long should you carry on for your dreams?
How long should you pursue your dream
Forever.
if it's not
There's
working?
no end. Why? Even if it's not working, it doesn't matter. You can still dream.
But sometimes don't you think you could be happier doing, as we've seen from how Neil's ended up being a really talented journalist and being very successful and very happy at it. If he was still struggling with rock, he might be miserable. So I don't know. I think you have to listen to your gut, listen to your heart, and oh no, that sounds like a Disney film.
I think the movie's a shout out to all those failed bands in garages and all those people who look. The division between success and failure in the media business is a hair's breadth. It's about luck as much as it's about talent. You two came to this country, what is it, 25, 30 years ago in the 80s, and they went home. That not a single record label wanted to sign them. Not one single A&R guy wanted to know them. They went back to Dublin. One A&R guy followed them back to Dublin. The rest is history. If that A&R guy hadn't done that, would they have been U2? Would they have stayed the course? So, look, that's the way this business works. That's the way the film business works. That's the way any business works in terms of the entertainment industry. Never listen to what anybody tells you, because they don't know what they're talking about, and just do what you want to do.
Because it's only ever one person's opinion that affects, often affects your reaction to what you're doing yourself, and it's often just nonsense.
Absolutely. Anyone from over here? Yeah, there's a lady in the front row.
Hiya. First of all, Ben, Ivan told me to say hi to you. So, yeah.
Hi, Ivan.
There's a question for Ben. I was going to ask, out of all the movies that you've done, which one's your favourite that you've done so far? Including Killing Ballo, of course.
Yeah, I'm fairly confident in saying this one, because it's so different, and I think it sort of plays to my sort of ridiculous strengths of terrible dancing and doing accents and screaming and lunging and sort of just things that and it's just so much fun, and it's so easy to watch. It's quite hard sometimes, I think, particularly when you're taking characters and stories that are in people's lives and in people's histories, and it's their favourite ever story, and you can only ever make a hash of that for people, really. I think, and this one, people don't know what to expect, really, and I like the fact that people are being surprised in watching it, and I think it's quite a touching story, but you have to work to find that part of it, and the rest of it will just make you giggle, because it's on the surface it's quite a frothy, fun journey. So I think I can sort of quite honestly say this one.
Excellent.